Hello everybody, how you doing today? Welcome back to Lloyd's Everyday English, specifically the news in English. I look at a recent news story, usually not anything too serious or too crazy, and we try to get some vocabulary from it. So today we're going to be looking at a story which involves a couple in a relationship, and the woman, the young lady involved, after dating for 2 weeks with this guy, she said, hey, I would like a relationship contract. And he agreed. And they've now been together for the best part of a year. It's a good expression, by the way. The best part of a year means almost a year or approximately a year. The best part of a year. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this relationship contract. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a crazy idea? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and we will take a look at this in a moment. Let me just see who's with us in the comments right now. Of course, this is a live lesson, but I'm sure many of you are watching in the replay as well. So hello if you're watching in the replay. But I can see Mohammed is here, Jonathan is here, and I'm not sure who else is here right now. Maybe just being quiet in the background, but it's always nice to see people from all over the world. And if you would like to join, if you haven't heard about our incredible, I like to say incredible, amazing, international online English learning community, it's called English TV Live. We have live lessons like this every day inside of a private community, and we also have group speaking classes where I can give you personalized feedback on Zoom. We have a private WhatsApp group, much more. I can't even speak. But if you want to practice your speaking, which I also need to do apparently, English TV Live is a fantastic place to do it. You can try it for free in our community for 1 week. Just head to EnglishTVLive.com. We have several different membership options, but I really recommend it. If you would like to take your English to the next level, maybe you feel a little bit frustrated in your English progress, maybe you feel a little bit shy or not confident enough when you are speaking, this is going to be an excellent option for you to give you regular practice in English and feedback. And we have lovely people from all over the world. I can see one of our newest members. I think our newest member is here in the comments. Fernando, welcome to you. Fernando in Bolivia, welcome. So let's get into this article for today. And it seems to be the case that recently I keep finding stories with two common themes. One common theme is that I keep finding them on the same newspaper, which is called The Sun. The Sun, right? The Sun. It's a very famous tabloid newspaper, which is a more, kind of casual one, not as serious. And but the good thing about, and this newspaper is it's not the best one, definitely not. They have a lot of trashy stories in there. But the thing I do like is they use a lot of common slang and vocabulary, which is more useful, I think, to learn, instead of always reading very serious, articles which have very formal vocabulary, which is not going to really be that useful in your daily life. So that's why I really like this newspaper or this website. So, and the second common theme is that, again, this is from a TikTok video. I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't even use TikTok. I use TikTok maybe once a month, just randomly. It's not really, I don't use it, I hardly ever use it. Maybe once every 2 months. It's not really my jam, you can say. I don't know. It's not really my thing. But TikTok is becoming more and more popular, and a lot of interesting stories seem to come from TikTok. So let's take a look at this one, shall we? And so we're going to read this article. And then after we have read this article, I also have the video as well, if you want to check it out. So I've got the video, the TikTok video. I went onto TikTok today and I downloaded the video for you guys. And so you can listen to this woman, this young lady. She has her own TikTok account, and this is where this story came from. And what else? And I've got a document as well where we can look at, I've written down the main vocabulary, and I thought we could try and make some sentences together along the way as well. And I'll leave the PDF in our private group for our members after that. Okay. So let's look at the headline here, shall we? Hello to Tanya. Hello to Eka. Nice to see you. Oh man. Oh man. Girlfriend draws up 17-page contract. 17 pages. Goodness me. And remember, when we have an amount of something as the adjective, we always remove the S. So in this case, 17-page contract instead of 17 pages contract. So 17-page contract for man. She's been dating 2 weeks, including that he pays for everything. Okay, so this does not sound good from the beginning. So one of the conditions in the contract is that he has to pay for all the dates. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about that as well. Hello to Nim. Hello to Jonathan. I think I've said hello to Jonathan already. So that's the first phrasal verb for today, to draw up. Okay, so draw up. Now you can draw up a, this basically means you write, you create a document. It's generally a contract or an agreement. These are the most common ways that you will see draw up. Okay, or maybe a plan as well. Draw up a plan, draw up a document, draw up an agreement. So when you create this agreement, this document, you draw it up. Okay, so let's draw up an agreement before we continue. Right now, let's jump straight into the article here. I'm just going to try and get it to fill the screen nicely here so you can see it all clearly. All right, that should be good. So here we go. A girlfriend drew up, as we just mentioned there, drew up a relationship, a 17-page relationship contract with her boyfriend just 2 weeks after they met on Tinder, the dating app, right? That's where a lot of people seem to meet these days. Demanding he pay for date nights, buy flowers twice a month, and work out 5 times a week. Work out means to exercise, right? If work out is 2 words, that is the verb, to work out, to exercise. Work out can also have some other meanings, like to discover the answer to a problem. But if you just say it like this, work out, it means exercise. You can tell by the context. So work out 5 times a week. He has to, apparently. I'm not sure if that's the same for her. I guess for both of them, hopefully. So he has to buy her flowers twice a month. He has to pay for date nights. Date night, as you can probably guess, is the night when you have a date. But it's a good word you can use to describe that. So date night. Maybe, I don't know, maybe every Thursday is your regular date night with your other half, for example. So Annie Wright first met her boyfriend, Michael Head, is his name. Let me just close something at the bottom there so we can just have a bit more space. There we go. So she first met her boyfriend, Michael Head, in October last year. So what is it now? Now September, so almost a year. And after deciding he was her person, to be exclusive soon after. They agreed to be exclusive soon after. So to agree to be exclusive, you hear this a lot when we are talking about relationships. So to be exclusive, you can also say to be in an exclusive relationship. To be exclusive or to be in an exclusive relationship. Obviously the second one is much longer, so a lot of people will just say to be exclusive. So for example, maybe there's a couple who have been dating for a while, maybe longer than 2 weeks, maybe not. And they could say, hey, I really like you. I'm really comfortable with you. I'm really having a good time. Do you want to be exclusive? Or shall we be exclusive? Shall we be exclusive? So that means, shall we be in a committed relationship, not dating anybody else, only focusing on each other? Okay? So she decided after 2 weeks he was the guy for her. She wanted to be exclusive, and he agreed. And there she is. And, oh, I think they are. Where is he? Where is he? It's not loading. Where is he? Picture's not loading. All right. Anyway. Maybe that's her ex-boyfriend. And here they are together. Very nice, nice couple, I think. They look like a nice match. And this is the man. This is the young man who agreed to this contract. Let me know, boys and girls, in the comments if you would agree to such a contract. I'm not sure that I would do that, especially not after 2 weeks. And here is actually some screenshots, I guess, from the. So they made. I think the boyfriend is. He's a law student, I believe. So he's very good at making contracts and documents. He enjoys that type of thing. So I think they made this contract together. It's pretty long. This is just a small sample of it. So we have things like honesty, communication, awareness of partner's needs, clarity. Okay, lots of stuff going on. You can see all these different points in the contract. Here's one. Paying for dates. Uh-oh. I know you are traditional and want to pay for everything, but this is not feasible or realistic. Okay. All right. So, long document. Let's continue then. Oh, let me just come back to the comments for a moment so I can see Mohammed says, after reading the title, I changed my idea. It's a bad idea. Okay, so you thought it was good and then you changed your mind. So determined to make the relationship work after having her boundaries crossed. I can't talk today or read today for some reason. After having her boundaries crossed in a previous toxic relationship, 21-year-old Annie joked, seems to not really be a joke apparently, that they should write down their terms and conditions for dating. And law student Michael happily agreed. Terms and conditions, when you agree to a contract, or even when you download some app on your phone or update some software, you always have those terms and conditions, right? And I think in terms of those, we usually don't read them, do we? If we're honest about it. But in this case, they created the terms and conditions for their relationship. Shortly after Annie and Michael sat down and read out their own terms, so they both made a list of things that were important to them in a relationship. So this is what Annie asked for, including a romantic gesture once every 2 weeks and working out at least 5 times a week alone. Interesting. So yeah, a romantic gesture. Romantic gesture. Something that shows that you love the other person. So typical examples of a romantic gesture would be buying somebody flowers, or maybe a present, or something like that. See if you can give some examples of some nice romantic gestures in the comments. Probably the most famous one is buying flowers, right? Or chocolates. Or maybe flowers and chocolates. Other clauses, so when you have things in the contract, things that you have to agree to, these can be called clauses. Clauses, you must agree to this. So one clause in the contract was no silent treatment, and him paying for date nights. It seems like he has to do he has the bad side of the contract, it seems. So what is the silent treatment? So this is not very nice. The silent treatment. Actually, one of my first ever videos on this channel, maybe you can check it out if you want, was about the silent treatment. So the silent treatment, what is this? This is when you have maybe an argument with your other half, and they, to punish you, don't talk to you. They ignore you. They just don't say anything. So you could be like, hey, honey, are you okay? What's wrong? Is there something I can do did I do something wrong? So they just ignore you. Another way to say this is to stonewall you. It just came to mind now. Stonewall someone. So basically just to ignore them. To give them the silent treatment. The silent treatment. Not very nice. But in the document it says no silent treatment, which is good. I agree with that one. Silent treatment is a very immature way, I think, to deal with these things instead of just talking about it. But he has to pay for the date night. Tell me what you think about that in the comments, by the way. Do you think the man should always pay on the dates? Is that fair? Seems a little bit unfair to me. Now, Annie credits the length. So if you credit something, you give credit. You say that the reason this was a success was because of this. So Annie credits the lengthy, very long. Something's lengthy is very long, maybe a little bit boring. The lengthy 17-page contract. So we can use it for this word lengthy. Lengthy document, lengthy argument, lengthy speech, lengthy meeting. So it's for either for documents or amounts of time, I would say. Lengthy lesson, hopefully not from me today. The lengthy 17-page contract was the key to their relationship success. And she even suggested that they might give each other a yearly review when they celebrate their 1-year anniversary next month. So after each year, they will review their progress. Maybe they'll make a new contract each year. Let me know what you think about that. Mohammed says or asks, is silent treatment similar to giving someone the cold shoulder? Very good job, Mohammed. Yes, that is basically the same thing. Yes, to give someone the cold shoulder, to ignore them. Yes, exactly. Very similar. Jonathan says she drew up a contract and he accepted that. That sounds suspicious. It makes me think in a grim background in both of them, but I will wait for the entire story. Okay, so you're suspicious about why they would make this contract. Nim says, so this is about should a man always pay for the date? Seems a bit unfair, in my opinion. No, not only men to pay for dating, women can pay as well. Yeah, I think it's a bit unfair because these days, in many countries, men and women are basically equal with jobs and salaries and things like that. Obviously not in every country. But if a woman has a job and a man has a job, why should the man be the one to always pay? I don't know. On the first date, I can understand. But every time? Otherwise, they could split the bill. Or go Dutch as another way to say, to split the bill. Go Dutch. Okay, so Annie from Atlanta in Georgia says, this has been a game changer. I'd recommend all couples have one. It's the best thing ever. So she's saying, I don't know if he agrees with this, but she says it's been a game changer. So having this contract has been a really good thing for her and her relationships. So if something is a game changer, it makes a huge change in a positive way. All right. So what else could be a game changer? Manchester United have just signed Cristiano Ronaldo, and I think he could be a game changer for their team because I think he's going to score lots of goals and help them, which is not good for my team Chelsea, but that's another story. A game changer. Maybe what else could be a game changer? Maybe moving to a better part of the city could be a game changer. You could have a much better life, more things to do. Maybe having a nice microphone for me was a game changer, because before that, my voice would not sound as clear. Game changer. Let me know your examples in the comments. Maybe exercising regularly could be a game changer in terms of your health. You feel much better, you sleep better, you have more energy and things like that. We treat our relationship almost like a business interaction. We deal with conflict, arguments, fights, like partners in business would. We sit down and treat it more like we're partners in life, and love is an added bonus. So, let me just come back to the comments here. So as you can see, yeah, they treat this relationship more like a business operation. So let's review what we did. Okay, last year we went on this many dates, and you did this, and you bought me these flowers. I don't know. Just to me, it seems a little bit strange. A little bit, I don't know, a little bit too methodical, a little bit too calculated, a little bit too cold. I mean, don't you think that love or relationships should be spontaneous and kind of unpredictable? And I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But let me know in the comments. Maybe you think this is a good idea. I don't think it would work for me. Persilia. Very nice to see you, Persilia. Welcome. Hello to Brazil. She broken down with the female fight for equality. She broken down. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. She's broken down. What do you mean? Maybe you can just explain a little bit there. Jonathan says, okay, so we're talking about paying for the bill. Never, always equal parts in the bill. And they have to let us choose the moment to show our chivalry, you could say, or to show our chivalrous, if you want to use the word chivalrous, chivalrous is an adjective, so you'd have to say our chivalrous behavior or our chivalry. Chivalrous or chivalry, by the way, is, how would I describe this? The kind of old-fashioned but very gentlemanly way for a man to behave with a woman. You know, like opening the door, pulling the chair, taking off the jacket. To show our chivalry, as in the first dates. You said it yourself. Okay. Changing my study plans might be a game changer for me. Very good. Yeah, if you make a new timetable or a new plan, and it's a really good one, and you stick to it, that could be a real game changer. He was like, and so often Americans will say this, British people sometimes as well, when you are talking about what somebody said, and you're kind of repeating what they said or reenacting what they said, you can say, he was like, oh my God. And she was like, what? And then he was like, really? For example, he was like, excuse me. He was like, I want us to be boyfriend and girlfriend. In order to be ready for that, we had to lay some serious ground rules. 2 weeks seems a bit fast. A bit too fast, in my opinion. I made the idea about the contract as a joke. I might rather say came up with the idea. Sounds a bit better. As a joke, and then he said, no, seriously, we can do that and talk about it. Now we're approaching 1 year. And when we rewrite it, so after 1 year, they're going to rewrite the contract and adjust it. I bet he writes, I want you to take off your shoes. I want you to take your shoes off when you come into my apartment, because I always forget that. So she knows he doesn't like that, but she often forgets to take her shoes off when she goes into his apartment. So that probably will be added to the next contract. It was not in the original one. It's getting it out the way. I highly recommend it. I'm surprised more people don't do it. So getting it out the way. So instead of later on in the relationship having some arguments or fights about these things because you had not agreed on them before, get it out the way. Get it done before. So to get something out the way, get it done so you don't have to worry about it later. And from that point of view, it kind of makes sense, right? If you agree on these things, then you can avoid some uncomfortable arguments later. Persily says she is wrong, she ruined the whole thing. Okay, she ruined the whole thing. Well, apparently not, because they are still together. They've been together for a year, almost a year now. But I can see what you mean. We're partners in this. She said, we're partners in this. We're agreeing to tackle life together, and this is our game plan for doing it. Game plan. Really nice bit of vocabulary there. Your game plan is your strategy. Your strategy to do something. Your game plan. So what's your game plan for the next year? What's your game plan for losing weight? What's your game plan for improving your English? EnglishTVLive.com would be a good game plan, in my opinion. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Annie had just come out of a long-term relationship last year when she initially planned to enjoy life as a university student, partying and using dating apps. So she had just come out of a long-term relationship, a bad long-term relationship. She was very not feeling good after that last relationship. So she didn't plan to have a relationship again for a while. She just wanted to enjoy herself, be single. But then she met this young man. But after matching with Michael on Tinder and inviting him on a dog walk, she knew instantly she wanted to make things work. Okay, so she didn't want to date somebody, but then she said, I was like, so if you say I was like, it's kind of like, it's saying what you thought or you said. I was like, screw it. I'm going to go on dates with guys and don't care anymore. So she said I had braces. She felt a bit embarrassed, but she's like, oh, forget about it. Screw it. I'll do what I want. So when you just say, whatever, it's fine. Screw it. So there's lots of situations you can use this one. Let's say, for example, you're on a diet. You're on a diet and you're only eating vegetables and salads and fruit. And then maybe it's your birthday and somebody gives you a delicious cake. And you look at the cake and you say, screw it. It's my birthday. I'm going to eat cake. No problem. Right? So when you just say, forget about that thing, screw it. Basically, you give up on that thing. Screw it. Maybe you give up on it permanently or just on that day, in that moment. Screw it. You're welcome to give your own examples in the comments, of course. So it was a fluke that I met him. I was going on 3 Tinder dates a week. Geez, she was busy. Going on 3 Tinder dates a week to go out there and meet people. So she did not really plan to, she just wanted to date different guys and just have fun. She wasn't planning on a serious relationship. So she says it was a fluke. A fluke means something's very lucky that she met him. Let's just skip along here. So it came to the point where we realized pretty quickly we were serious about each other. Okay, so they wanted to be exclusive in an exclusive relationship. But I'd come out of a toxic relationship and swore off dating seriously. So as I mentioned, she had a bad previous relationship. She had past perfect. She had just come out. So she'd come out of, you can say, come out of a relationship. You end a relationship, you come out of a relationship. So when people break up with somebody, they will often say it like this in English. Maybe in your language as well. I've just come out of a relationship. I've just come out of a long relationship. Or I've just come out of a 10-year marriage. Whatever the case may be. Okay? So she come out of a toxic relationship. Toxic. right? Very bad, very emotionally and mentally stressful and exhausting and damaging relationship. So she had this relationship. I presume that the boyfriend was maybe mentally abusive, something like that. So she didn't want to have anything serious anytime soon. So she had sworn in the present perfect, past perfect form. She had sworn off dating seriously. So to swear off something, you say, I'm not going to do this anymore. So for example, if you decide to quit drinking alcohol, I've sworn off drinking. Or you've sworn off men, maybe, if you had too many bad experiences. Sworn off women, sworn off dating, sworn off smoking, sworn off hanging out with that person anymore. So something that you just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm to swear off this thing. But as we know, she met him and she said, screw it. I like this guy. I want to be with this guy. So I met him and thought, I'm going to figure out, right? I'm going to work out. I'm going to find out how to make dating work again. Okay, so they drew up the contract like on The Apprentice, the TV show, The Apprentice, the business reality show. So they printed it out. Okay, So she said, I felt like the biggest issue the biggest problem she had in her previous bad relationship was it felt like boundaries of mine were crossed that I never established. Boundaries. So if you have boundaries, maybe you can give some examples of your own in the comments. But to have boundaries means things that you will or won't accept, right? So if you have everybody has different things, different boundaries, different things that they will accept in a relationship or in a friendship or in life in general. And there's things that people will not accept. So I don't know, let me know if you want to share any of your boundaries in the comments. Maybe, for example, a boundary could be not respecting the other person's free time, or not respecting maybe ignoring the other person. That could be a boundary. Or maybe being rude to the other person, or I don't know, looking at the other person's phone. That could be a boundary. Maybe invading your privacy could be a boundary. Or talking to somebody in a certain way. Or, if you're in a public place, maybe if somebody stands too close to you, that could be your boundary, especially these days, right? With all the social distancing. So Fernando's enjoying the article here. He says both boy and girl. I think you mean for paying for the date, right? Okay, so you think it should be 50-50. Makes sense. Okay. We'll just finish and then we'll go to the video of this girl from TikTok. Okay, so she didn't want to have the same experience she had with the last boyfriend. So she wanted to make sure that her boyfriend understood what she would accept or not accept in a relationship, her boundaries. So, and he did the same thing. Mohammed asks, is boundary similar to crossing the line? Very good. Yes, exactly. Crossing the line. You cross the line. It's very similar. Yes, you've crossed it's like my personal boundaries, my personal line. Yeah, very good. So she said, we talked about love languages. Apparently there's these 5 love languages, I think. It's best-selling book. I haven't read it myself, but it sounds interesting. Apparently everybody has a different love language. It helped to outline ways we feel appreciated. She said, okay, so one of her boundaries was, I don't like it when people pry. I'll talk when I'm ready, and I like to get my words together. That's something I wrote in there. Prying is kind of invading somebody's personal privacy. Prying. I wrote down. What did I write down? Well, let's see. How can we best explain pry? So, looking too closely into someone's private affairs. So you could say, for example, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Let's say, for example, you say, oh, how are things going with your relationship? And they say, oh, we broke up. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pry. I didn't mean to get into your personal business, right? To pry. So she doesn't like it if somebody pries in, obviously she's quite sensitive about that, about people who, she likes to keep certain things private to herself until she feels ready to talk about them, which is understandable. Okay, let's just So I think that's about it. And here they are. Look like a happy couple. She actually has, as I said, she has a TikTok page or channel, and they make videos together sometimes, so you can check it out if you want. I think the name of the TikTok account is Annie's Right. Yeah. If you're on TikTok, her account is this one, Annie's Right. Her name is Annie, right? Her name is Annie Right, and so she quite cleverly made her name Annie's Right, and I'm sure the boyfriend agrees with that. She's always right. Okay, I think that's about it for this article. So, does anybody have any questions or anything? We could just, I've written down, as I said, I've written down the meanings of the main vocabulary from this article. So if anybody has some example sentences, we can write them here. So to draw up a contract, right? To write a contract, to be exclusive or to become exclusive, it means to start an official relationship with somebody. To have your boundaries crossed, as we just mentioned. Toxic relationship, very bad relationship, which negatively affects someone's mental health. A romantic gesture, a very nice romantic thing that somebody does for somebody else. Buying flowers or presents, for example. The silent treatment, giving the silent treatment. Intentionally ignoring and not saying something to punish the other person. Lengthy, something's very long, usually too long, like a lengthy speech, lengthy document. A game changer, something which makes a huge difference in a positive way. To lay the ground rules. I think we didn't look at this one. So they decided to lay the ground rules. So at the beginning of the relationship, the reason that they made this contract was to lay the ground rules, to make the rules at the beginning clear for both sides. So when you lay the ground rules, it's at the beginning of some type of relationship, business relationship, romantic relationship apparently, you lay the ground rules. You say at the beginning, the ground rules, these are the main rules we have to follow for this to work. A game plan is a strategy. Screw it means forget it. To swear off something, to say to yourself, you won't do this again. I've sworn off dating anymore, for example. Not my story, just for example. And to pry into something. To look too closely into something, usually without permission. So, yeah, why don't we take a look?
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship because I'm...
Now, let me just warn you. So this is her. She is a little bit difficult to understand. Her voice, I would say. Her accent is a bit difficult to understand. She does mumble a little bit, I would say. And her accent, I'm not sure which part of the United States she's from, but her pronunciation is a bit tricky. Just to let you know. Just to make you feel better. So here she is, and here is what she has to say about the relationship. So
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship because I'm...
I mean, that was difficult. Did you hear what she said there?
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship.
Okay, she does. That's not an easy accent to understand. She didn't pronounce the F very clearly. I feel. So she said, I feel most of you are...
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship.
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship, I think she said.
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship because...
Yeah, not easy to understand. So that's what she said. So obviously the people watching her page, her channel, already know about her relationship because she always posts about it.
Just constantly milking it for content on this.
She's constantly milking it for content. She always uses her relationship to create more videos, more content for TikTok in this case. So to milk, she's trying to get as much content, as many videos as she can from her relationship because people seem to be interested in it. So
I feel like most of you guys are already pretty familiar with my relationship because I'm just constantly milking it for content on this app.
You see, she took the two hands there. It's kind of like milking a cow. You know, you milk a cow, you get the milk out of the cow, like using the two hands.
But a lot of people are always like, oh, you guys are so cute. Where did you get him? And the answer is tender.
It sounded like she said tender there. I don't know, her accent's a bit different. So she's saying Tinder, but it sounded like tender to me. From tender, maybe it's just her region. So, where did you get him? I mean, that sounds kind of funny. I've never heard that before. Where did you get him for a romantic partner? Often people say, where did you find him? How did you meet? Where did you get him? It's kind of a funny way to say it. Though. Like, where did you get him? It sounds like you got him in. Usually, you use that for a shop. Where did you get That's a nice shirt. Where did you get it? That's a nice boyfriend. Where did you get him? So they met on Tinder, or as she says, Tinder.
On Tinder. Just constantly milking it for content on this app. But
maybe she's kind of southern, I guess, from down in the south, from made on Tinder.
A lot of people are always like, oh, you guys are so cute. Where did you get him? And the answer is Tinder. We met on Tinder, the infamous like hookup app. Yeah, that's where we met.
So Tinder is an infamous hookup app. To hook up, hook up, right? When a boy and a girl, or boy and a boy, girl and a girl, a boy and a girl get together and have a good time, right? But maybe nothing more serious than that. They just want to get together to have a good time. Hook up, you could say. So some people will call Tinder a hookup app because it's maybe not the best place to find a serious relationship. But in her case, she did.
What you guys probably don't know is that like a month after we first met, our first date was October 18th, we drafted up relationship terms and conditions.
So another way you can say, we mentioned in the article draw up, right? Draw up terms and conditions, draw up a contract, draw up an agreement. But here, I think she said draft, D-R-A-F-T, draft up, I think she said there. So you can also use that phrasal verb as well.
It was October 18th. We drafted up relationship terms and conditions. So I'll just take you guys through that. I'm not going to read it all because like cringe, but there's objectives, honesty, communication, but there's objectives, conditions.
So the document is, how many pages was it? 17 pages, right? 17 pages.
So I'll just take you guys through that. I'm not going to read it all because like cringe, but there's...
Okay, she said, I'm not going to read it all because like cringe. By the way, if you could leave a like on this video, that would really help. If you just take a second, that would really help. Just came to mind. Thank you very much. So cringe, cringe, right? When you see something, oh, this is so embarrassing. You know that feeling when you see something that's really embarrassing? Oh, cringe. So she's saying, and it's becoming even more popular these days, cringe. It seems like I sound like an old man here. American youngsters like to use this word, cringe. They use it a lot. Cringe. Oh, cringe. So she's saying, I'm not going to sit here and show you a 17-page document. Cringe.
So I'll just take you guys through that. I'm not going to read it all because, like, cringe, but there's objectives, honesty, communication, awareness of partner's needs, clarity.
You know what? With her accent, it sounds like when instead of she says like eh. Like, sounds like cringe or tender. So her vowel sound for her accent is a bit different for the and eh.
Objectives, honesty, communication, awareness of partner's needs, clarity, and I don't know, does that say alignment of your intentions? You drafted up boundaries, saying no, prying. You know, these are my boundaries.
So boundaries, yeah, an important thing with boundaries is being able to say no to something. So I do not agree to whatever it is, right?
Out of there it says Emma comes before anyone and anything in my life, my dog. So, and these are his. He said the important information pack. You know, these are his like boundaries. The about me section. Now, I'm no relationship therapist or anything, but I feel like this has helped us avoid issues that I see other people dealing with all the time. Like,
so she says, I'm no relationship therapist. So she's admitting, she's saying, look, I'm not an expert in relationship therapy. This is just something I decided to do with my boyfriend. So she's not trying to say that she's some expert or something. So you can say something like this, like you can say this for many things. I'm no relationship expert. I'm no medical expert. You know, I'm no law expert. Things like that. When you want to make it clear, look, this is just my opinion. This is what I wanted to do, but I'm not an expert with this thing.
Now, I'm no relationship therapist or anything, but I feel like this has helped us avoid issues that I see other people dealing with.
Relationship therapist, not expert.
Relationship therapist or anything, but I feel like this has helped us avoid issues that I see other people dealing with all the time. Like, people are like, my boyfriend doesn't buy me flowers. You're like, how am I supposed to hint to him I want something? I literally wrote
again, hint instead of hint. How am I supposed to hint? So a lot of girls might be saying, oh, my boyfriend never buys me flowers. How do I hint? How do I let him know without letting him know? And she's saying, look, just have the contract.
Now, I'm no relationship therapist or anything, but I feel like this has helped us avoid issues that I see other people dealing with all the time. Like, people are like, my boyfriend doesn't buy me flowers. You're like, how am I supposed to hint to him I want something? I literally wrote in a contract, ideally I would like to see a romantic gesture once every 2 weeks to a month, and I will return the favor. And we both...
What do you think about that? I think it's a little bit... I think romantic gestures, so just one more time, romantic gestures, doing something romantic, maybe buying flowers or... a present or I don't know, some romantic trip, or it could be many different things, right? Playing somebody a romantic song that reminds them of you, or whatever, right? Romantic gesture, showing the other person that you love them. Shouldn't that be a spontaneous thing? I mean, if it's like, oh, okay, it's 2 p.m. on Thursday, it's time for my weekly flowers, it kind of just loses the romance, the romantic feeling, the spontaneity. That's just my personal opinion.
Aligned what we would like to do with our future together. Now, I will admit this is absolutely psychotic to write up 2 weeks after meeting somebody on Tinder, but y'all seem to eat up our relationship, so...
I'm pretty sure she's from the South. I really like the Southern accent, by the way. It's just, this one is just a little bit difficult to understand. But she said y'all, because a lot of Southern people in the United States say y'all, like you all.
Tender, but y'all...
So she's saying, I admit it's kind of psychotic. Psychotic, like crazy. So she's saying, look, I know this looks totally crazy. She's admitting that. So that's good. At least she's self-aware. She doesn't think that this is totally normal or something. She's admitting, look, I know this seems kind of crazy, but hey.
Now, I will admit this is absolutely psychotic to write up 2 weeks after meeting somebody on Tinder, but y'all seem to eat up our relationship, so this is what we did.
Say, y'all seem to eat up our relationship. To eat something up, okay, phrasal verb, so you can literally eat up all of your food, but to eat something up means to really enjoy something that somebody does or somebody says. So in this case, she has her TikTok channel, and she's been making many videos about her and her boyfriend and how they met and all these things with their contract, and it seems as though the people watching really like it, right? They've been liking the videos and commenting, and wow, this is so good. And she's been getting a lot of followers, I guess, from all of the videos. So the audience has been eating it up. They've been right, really enjoying the content. So she's kind of like, hey, let me make more videos. If that's what you enjoy watching, let me make more videos to tell you more about our relationship, since you seem to enjoy it.
Relationship. So this is absolutely psychotic to write up 2 weeks after meeting somebody on Tinder, but y'all seem to eat up our relationship. So this is what we did. It is crazy. But if you want to agree to a contract, how do you know what you're signing yourself up for? You don't want to throw yourself into a 1-year-long commitment and you don't even know what the terms and conditions are. I need to know the rules here.
So she's saying, I guess it's because she had a bad previous relationship, and this kind of makes sense, right? She says, if you get into a relationship with somebody, you don't know what you're signing up for, right? You don't know what you're agreeing to, because maybe after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, you could realize, we're not on the same page. We are not a good match. But in this case, they have a contract, so it's easier to make sure that they are literally on the same page.
I don't even know what the terms and conditions are. I need to know the rules here. And thus, Michael and I have hardly fought. I mean, we just kind of the rules.
We've hardly fought. So they have almost never had a fight, an argument, which is good.
The terms and conditions are. I need to know the rules here. And thus, Michael and I have hardly fought. I mean, we just kind of refer back to what we've agreed to do.
So when they have and you can check out our TikTok channel there, Annie is right. And so, yeah, she says that they never have a fight, because anytime there's a disagreement or something, they can just say, hey, it says this in the contract, so yeah, what you gonna do? Which I guess that could be a good way to resolve fights, right? Especially if you have 17 pages, that's probably gonna cover most issues that would come up in a relationship, I guess. Seems like a very comprehensive document. All right, so that is about it, everybody. Let me know what you think about this if you're watching live or in the replay. Do you think it's a good idea to make this agreement? Would you consider doing something yourself in a relationship? Let me know. Mohammed says, this relationship seems fishy to me. I don't think it's a real one. That's an interesting point. I was thinking the same thing when I first read this. I was thinking something seems a bit fishy. Like, what is she hiding, or what is he hiding? Maybe not. Maybe they are. It just works. But all I would say is that I would not personally agree to this, especially not after 2 weeks of dating somebody. Jonathan says, I think it's a clever way to get attention. Draw up a contract for a relationship has to be a common thought of everybody, but no one said, screw it. Let's do it. They're showing us a game changer. Okay, so I guess many people have probably thought about this before, but just never actually done it. So she said, screw it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna make a document. Let's do it. By the way, screw it. Yeah, I definitely recommend you remember that one. It's a really good expression. Screw it. It's kind of like, I'll just do it. I'll do it. Whatever. A more rude version you could say is, fuck it, I'll do it. Screw it. Whatever, I'll do it. Okay, fine. I could also say that the amount of attempts has a positive relation to accomplish a good match. She mentioned that she used Tinder 3 times per week. Okay, yes, so that's a good point as well, right? The more people you meet, the more likely that you will be to meet the right person. However, I don't think she did this for very long. I think that her plan was she was dating like 3 people a week, but then after 1 or 2 weeks, she met this guy and she said, screw it. I'm going to stick to this one guy. I think. That is a lot. 3. Yeah. Nim says she tries to do everything for her business, I think. To be honest, we don't need to show all relationship on social media. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Nim. I think a relationship, of course, you can share some things like nice photos or whatever, but the intimate details of relationships should be between you and your partner. So I agree with you that it should not be something that you talk about in so much detail for the whole world to see. I would not do that. So I agree. I believe that relationship fights prove how strong the relationship is. Okay, I see what you mean, but at the same time, fighting often is not a good thing in my opinion. You should rather talk through your issues in a respectful way, but fighting, I don't know. I don't think that's good in my humble opinion. Nim, you're very welcome. Have a nice weekend to you too. Lovely to see you, by the way. Sawadee Cup to Thailand. Hello to Thailand. And he is right. Yeah. It's Annie, if you want to find, not Y. And he is right. Yeah. Yeah, that name was a bit funny as well. A bit fishy. Kind of like, I don't know. Annie is always right. It doesn't sound like the boyfriend is in an easy situation there. But anyway, that is about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. This was the news in English. So hopefully you learned lots of good vocabulary. I'd love to see your examples in the comments below using any of this vocabulary. I'd be happy to check it out, see if you're using it correctly. And yeah, until next time, take care of yourself. Be careful with whatever contracts you sign. And remember, Annie is always right. Priscilla, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. I really appreciate that. I just realized one thing I didn't do is I didn't really make too many examples with the with these ones. So I can try and make some. I'll try and make some example sentences, and I'll put them in the document for you, and I'll post those in our private Facebook group. Again, if you're not a member yet and you'd like to really have a wonderful way to surround yourself with English and practice English all the time, then our private community, EnglishTVLive.com, is the place to go. Many of our members are here in the comments. Always great to see you. Mohammed, thank you so much. Is that another Mohammed? Seems we have a couple of Mohammeds in the comments. Thank you. It really means a lot. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be back again very soon. Bye-bye.